Good morning, my name is Katinka. I'm the seamstress at the cottage and welcome back. Over here we chat about sewing, knitting and sometimes some life, but today I'm talking about a collaboration I did with Diane from Silver Thread Sewing, and we used the M7948 pattern. It's McCall's 7948. So this pattern, I think it's 2 or 3 years ago, Minerva, the fabric store, gave these patterns away. You could download the free version, which I did at that stage, but I never printed it out. So when I came to America, there was a sale for McCall's at $1.99, and of course, I had to get this, because cutting out a paper pattern is so much easier than doing a PDF. And it's been lingering in my pattern stash ever since. So I contacted Diane and I said, let's do a collaboration a while ago. And then we decided we will each make a dress, and then we looked for our patterns and we found this one that both of us had. She has made it before and she said she loved it. So I've had this fabric in my stash for a very long time. When I still had my business, a lot of people, when they gave up their sewing rooms, they would contact me and then I would go through their fabrics and sometimes buy the fabrics that I wanted, or sometimes they would give me all these heaps of fabrics. So this was one of those pieces. It's a cotton linen mix and it's a medium weight, and it's been traveling with me for many years. And then I realized that this dress will look stunning in this fabric. Now, because this fabric is so old, it was only 115 centimeters wide. So most fabrics today's day is about 140 centimeters, and sometimes you still get 115, but mostly your fabric standard width is 140 or 50. So I had to be kind of creative to get out the dress I wanted. I knew I was going to do version D, but I did not want the frill. Lately, I've had a lot of frilly dresses and I am tired of gatherings. So I just wanted it plain, hanging down, a little bit of gathers at the bodice, and for the rest, just plain. So that was the first thing I decided on. The second thing is this one's neck comes up extremely high, and it's got a keyhole button in the back. And it has facings. A few years ago, part of my thyroid was removed, and since then I cannot stand things close to my neck. I tolerate them in winter, but mostly it needs to be far away from this part. So this neck is supposed to be much higher, about that much higher, and then it gets a placket on the back, on that line. But I don't want to do a placket, and I don't want to do a facing. So I've made the neck big enough so it can get over my head, and I'm just going to use bias binding around the neck. I just love bias binding. As soon as I iron it, this will be perfect. And now I can put the sleeves in. The sleeves are pinned in place, so I'm now going to sew them. Then overlock that seam, side seams, sew the side seams together, and then the bodice is done, and then I can do the skirt. And facings also pull up, and that freaks me out. So I knew I wanted to do bias binding, and I also knew I was going to make the neck bigger. And because I was making the neck bigger, I realized that I did not have to do facings, which I was very happy about. So that was the one change I did on the pattern. The other one, this pattern, if you look at the pattern piece, the shoulder seam is that typical, I call it the 45-degree angle. It's not that much, but it feels like that. And my shoulders are quite straight. So I went ahead and I folded it and I just cut it straight. And I've straightened the shoulder, because that usually is my problem on most of the big 5 patterns. The neck is extremely high. I hate such a high neck. So I'm actually going to go down even more. But otherwise, I'm sticking to this pattern. I'm just not going to give it that second frill. We'll just have one frill, one skirt piece. The other thing, with this fabric being so old, it's only 112 centimeters wide. So that is a bit of a problem, but I will get out the dress. I'm sure of that. It's not as wide as I want it to be. I think I had like a few degrees that it was coming down, but mostly it was straight. And then after I fitted the dress, I realized that this needed to come in. It was fine in the back because I do have a broad back. So I took it from here and I just went in and I took away about 1.5 centimeters from, so here it was less, and then here it was about 2 centimeters, and then it just gradually graded into under my arm. Now I love the sleeve. Another thing, I have big upper arms, and for that reason I always take the sleeve and I cut the bigger size. I could have gone a bit smaller. If I look at it now, it would have fitted, but I don't mind it being bigger. I want room to move for my arms. Another thing that I also found interesting on this pattern is view A and view B is the one with the frill. That pattern that look has pockets, but for view C and D there is a set of pockets, but they're not on this dress. So I took those pockets and I just added it to this dress. Did I? Oh, no. I changed those because those pockets come in on the bodice at the top, which is perfect because that gives you then the pocket pulls on the bodice, not on the side seams. But because it's got the gathers here and because I also ran out of fabric, I made just normal, the rounded moon shape kind of pocket, which I added to the side seams. The pockets are in and the side seams are done. Now it's time to do gathering stitches right around and gather this to the bodice. And otherwise, I love this dress. I can see myself wearing it a lot. I love how it fits in the front. It is 4 fingers above my waistline and I think it is stunning. If I make it again, I would give it little darts in the front. I just think it will give a little bit less of a poofiness in the front, and I might even give it little darts in the back. Still leave it loose, but shape it a little bit more. But overall, this is a very good beginner-friendly pattern. It's really easy to make. And the instructions, I looked at the instructions, I never follow them, but I did read them and they're actually really good. Now Diane made this dress and she did a wonderful job and I love her final product. We were going back and forth over text messages and discussing the fabrics we were going to use and what adjustments we would make, and it has been so much fun just collaborating with her on this whole process. So if you want to know more about this pattern, go over to Diane and go and watch what she has to say about this. And if you're a beginner and even if you're an advanced sewer, this is a very nice pattern to make. I also want to apologize for the disjointedness of this video. My microphone broke and I'm trying to get the sound okay because I'm saving up for a better microphone at the moment, and these earphones keep on falling out of my ears. That's why I never wear earphones, because they cannot stay in my ears. So it's been, every time they fall out, the video cuts out and then I have to start again. So I'm really sorry, but thank you for spending time with me and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.
Stars come to shine when it's dark from so far away and show us where we are. It really makes me wonder.